Good day, everybody. My name is Rich Anthony de Blasco, student of Marketing School from grade 12 Step C. Today, I'm going to show you on how to make a vinegar from apple using fermentation. Or in other words, I'm going to show you on how to make an apple cider vinegar. But before we start, let us have first a little bit information about apple cider vinegar.
Synthesis of information. Apple cider vinegar, or can be also called as cider vinegar, is the fermented juice from apples that can be used in salad dressing and food preservation. Back then, in 400 BC, in Hippocrates, they used these fermented apples as their medicine together with honey. Today, apple cider are known for lowering blood sugar and managing diabetes. Apple cider vinegar can be done by fermenting apples for several weeks. Fermentation is a process where apples are soaked to the water for several weeks. During this process, bacteria or yeast interact with the sugar or glucose in the apples. After several weeks, the cider turns into alcohol, then into vinegar. To be more specific, the apples that are soaked with water will go first anaerobic respiration. Based on what I have learned on my General Biology 1, glucose from the apples will turn into pyruvate with the help of enzymes. Then, this pyruvate will go their carboxylation where carbon dioxide and acetaldehyde will be the product. The acetaldehyde will be reduced to form ethanol, which can be found in alcoholic beverages. The ethanol will oxidize into acetic acid with the help of acetic acid bacteria or ABB. Now, this acid will now be the vinegar. Making an apple cider vinegar is not a hard task if you want. This might only takes time and you only need is patient in waiting for the apples to ferment. Fermentation usually takes 3 weeks to 6 weeks depending on the person. Based on some food articles, longer fermentation can affect the taste and flavor of the food or beverage because during this fermentation, microorganisms react with the food that changes the chemical that creates the taste and the flavor for the food and beverages. Today, apple cider vinegar is now considered as a healthy drink due to its health benefits. One of those benefits is that it helps a person to lower his sugar level. Based on the study of Panayota Mitro et al. 2015, it states that the apple cider vinegar has a glucose lowering effect that makes the person with glucose abnormalities to lower its glucose. However, it also states in the study that this glucose lowering effect is not clear or obscure.
Now that we know what an apple cider is, let us now make our own apple cider vinegar. First, let us prepare the materials needed.
Materials needed. The materials needed are jar, apple, spoon, knife, cloth or towel, rubber band, food thermometer, water, and pot. You can use either of the two pots, depends on what sort of sterilization you're going to do.
Now that we know the materials needed, let us now make our own apple cider vinegar. First, of course, let us buy some apples.
So this is me buying some apples in the market.
Now that we have apples, let us now clean our jars. Cleaning our jars takes two steps. First is washing, then second is sterilization.
Washing the jars must be on water and soak with dishwashing liquid and rinse with water properly. The sterilization process that I choose is steam sterilization, so we will use a steam pot. But if you are going to boiling sterilization, you only need is an ordinary pot. First step in sterilization is put water on the pot, then next is put the pot on the stove, then turn on the stove and wait the water to boil. But before that, as a part of this project, we will record first the water temperature before it applied to heat.
The recorded temperature is 28.5 degrees Celsius.
Which will be converted into Fahrenheit and Kelvin.
Unit conversion.
In order for us to convert Celsius into Fahrenheit, we use the formula F is equals to 9 over 5 C plus 32, where C is the temperature for Celsius. In order for us to calculate the Fahrenheit, we simply plug in 28.50 in the C. Then multiply 9 over 5 to 28.5. Then last, add 51.3 to 32. Now our Fahrenheit is 83.3. Now to convert Celsius into Kelvin, we use the formula K is equals to C plus 273.15, where C is the temperature in Celsius. In order for us to calculate Celsius into Kelvin, we simply plug in 28.5 in C. Then last, add 28.5 to 273.15. Now, our Kelvin is 301.65. Now that we have already converted the temperature, let us now heat and wait for the water to boil. At this moment, I am waiting for the water to boil.
At this point, our water is now boiling. Let us now put our jars to the pot. Now that the water is now boiling, let us now record the temperature and convert it. The recorded temperature is 98.2. That will be converted into Fahrenheit and Kelvin. Unit conversion.
In order for us to convert Celsius into Fahrenheit, we use the formula F is equals to 9 over 5 C plus 32, where C is the temperature for Celsius. In order for us to calculate the Fahrenheit, we simply plug in 98.2 in the C. Then multiply 9 over 5 to 98.2. Then last, add 176.76 to 32. Our Fahrenheit is equals to 208.76. To convert Celsius into Kelvin, we use the formula K is equals to C plus 273.15, where C is the temperature in Celsius. In order for us to calculate Celsius to Kelvin, we simply plug in 98.2 in C. Then last, add 98.2 to 273.15. Now our Kelvin is equals to 371.36.
In this phase, we will wait for 15 minutes in sterilization. Now that the 15 minutes is over, let us turn off the stove and wait for the jars to cool. Once the jar is already cold, use clean towel in drying the jars. This is now our jars after sterilization. Now that our sterilization is done, let us now prepare our apples. First, let us wash our apples with running water.
Now that we have done washing our apples, let us now cut them into 8 slices per apple. After slicing the apples, put 8 slices of apples in each jar. After that, fill with 500 ml of water each jar. Using a clean towel and rubber band, cover each jar with towel and lock it with rubber band. After that, place the jars on a cabinet or in any place where the jar is safe. In this phase, we will wait about 14 days for the apple to ferment, and each day we will stir each jar to prevent molding. Day 1. Day 2. Day 3. Day 4. Day 5. Day 6. Day 7. Day 8. Day 9. Day 10. Day 11. Day 12. Day 13. Day 14. Since we're now on our 14th day, the fermentation is expected to be done. And now, we're going to separate the apples from the jars. We will be needing another container, cloth, rubber band, and clean towel. For us to separate apples from the jars, using the another container, put the cloth on the mouth of it and use the rubber band to lock the cloth. Then get one of the jars and slowly pour the liquid to the container. Then, remove the apples from the cloth, and since we don't have any another container, we will wash our jar properly. Washing the jars must be the same as what I have demonstrated earlier. Using a clean towel, make sure that the jar is well dried before transferring the filtered liquid. Once the jar is already dried, transfer the filtered liquid back to the jar, then cover the jar with its cloth cover again. Then, same process will go on the remaining 2 jars. Make sure that the apples will be disposed properly. After that, make sure that the apples will be disposed properly and your workplace will be clean.
Now that we finally remove our apples from the jars, let us now go to the next step. The next step is we will keep our jars in a cabinet for 7 days and we will still stir it every day.
Day 1. Day 2. Day 3. Day 4. Day 5. Day 6. Day 7. Today we are going to filter our vinegar since we still see something at the bottom. After we filter our vinegar, we must ensure that our workplaces will be clean.
Now that we already filtered our vinegar, we are now going to wash and sterilize our jars again because since we don't have any jars left, we are required to wash and sterilize it again because these jars are the jars that we are going to use in our final product.
Sterilization. Washing our jars must be on water together with dishwashing liquid and must be rinsed properly. After washing, we will now go on our sterilization. We are waiting for the water to boil. We will wait for 15 minutes. Now that our 15 minutes is done, we wait for our jars to cool. While waiting, let us convert our recorded temperatures. Unit conversion. The temperature recorded before heat is 25.4 degrees Celsius while during the heat is 100.9 degrees Celsius. To convert convert Celsius into Fahrenheit, we use the formula F is equals to 9/5C plus 32, where C is the temperature for Celsius. First step is plug in the value of C. Then multiply 9/5 to the value of C. Then add the product to 32. And that will give us 77.72 before heat and 213.62 during heat. To convert Celsius into Kelvin, we use the formula K is equals to C plus 273.15, where C is the temperature for Celsius. First, substitute the value of C. Then add the value of C to 273.15. That will give us 298.55 Kelvin before heat and 374.05 Kelvin during heat. Now that our jar is already cold, use clean and dry towel to dry the jars. After drying the jars, transfer the vinegar into the jars. Be sure that the vinegar will be distributed equally in the 3 jars. I use an alternative measuring cup for me to divide the vinegar equally. Now that our vinegar is ready, we will now go to our product making. Product making composed of 2 parts. First is sketching, then second is packaging. Sketching the product takes me 3 days. This is the day 1, day 1 output. This is the day 2, day 2 output, and day 3. Final sketch for the product. Now that we are done on our sketch, let us proceed on our packaging. Packaging composed of logo or business name and labelings. So before we proceed, let us make our logo or business name and labelings. Logo making. Labeling making. Logo or business name. Labelings. Now that our logo and labeling is ready, let us now proceed to our packaging. In our packaging, we will be needing logo and labelings, scissors, double-sided tape, and our jars. First step is cut out the labelings and logo. Second step is attach double-sided tape on the back of labelings and logo. Once the double-sided tape is attached, attach the logo and labelings on the jar. Then, same process will go on the remaining 2 jars. This is what our product look like. Now that we already have our product, let us taste if our product really tastes like a vinegar. So here we are. We're going to taste now our product. So this is our product, apple cider vinegar. So let's do this. And this is a cup of water. So let's taste them. Oh my god. I'm pretty nervous. So, you know, amoy apple. It smells like an apple, you know. Since we use an apple, it smells like an apple. Then let us taste it. Ah, gosh. It's sour. Para siyang suka, dato puti, ewan. Pero lasa din naman yung apple. Yan, nagtatagalog na tayo kasi hindi natin kaya ng English. So yon, maasim naman siya kagaya nung na-expect natin. And then, yung amoy niya, apple, and yun lang. Maasim siya amoy apple.
Yon guys, so thanks for watching and I hope you learned a lot from this video, and please do like and subscribe on my YouTube channel and hope to see you soon. Bye.